Hey, full throttle kind of guy, checking in on a Sunday. Sorry I've been out of the loop again. Finally getting over the Rona. Me and the family had it, and I've been battling it out for almost 2 weeks now. Finally is the first day where I feel halfway decent. Just got the Rona cough as a side effect, so I anticipate having that for the next several weeks till I can kind of get over the hump on that. But hey, if wasn't for the shots, in my honest opinion, I have no doubt this thing would have been pretty bad. But I digress. I'm still kicking it. So here we go. Right now I get the Galaxie in my garage. Since I live out in the great Northwest and it rains a little bit. And when I mean a little bit, sarcastically, I mean it rains quite often. But thankfully this week's been really nice from what I could see out my living room window slash couch where I've been spending most of my time trying to recover. Just figured I'd come out to the garage and stretch my legs and get some fresh air and just hang out and do my thing. So anyways, one thing is just probably like you do and I do a lot of shopping. And what's funny is I get like the odds and ends parts, like the clamps and that, and I get like a whole box of clamps, and I probably have several dozen clamps around, but I can never find them when I need them. Made a vow to myself once I get back into the garage to get better organized, and I'm sure a lot of people are the same way too. So figured I'd grab over-reliable my sandwich bags and start throwing out boxes that I don't really need, because as you can see, I don't have a lot of space to kind of work with anyway. And plus, God forbid I start this thing up to try to work with it, since I live in a complex, because they have a you can't work on your car, rule over here, so much for being, living in the U.S. and being treated like a citizen where you can work on shit. It's okay to have a dog barking, 24 frickin' 7 and people blasting, musical hours of the night, but God forbid you start your car and it's a little bit louder than your average car, you get, heat from the landlord, which is ridiculous, but what are you gonna do, right? So anyways, I figured I'd use the old sandwich bag to kind of get organized. And I've actually got a box where I can put all my clamps and stuff and other miscellaneous, nuts and bolts and supplies. So if I need something, instead of buying it over and over again and keep the money working towards the project, that's the ultimate goal in life, But anyways, feeling good, feeling alive. So there's that. Not a whole lot going on with the Galaxie. I do got the place, just waiting for the title to come in. Oregon's running a little bit behind on those things, about 8 to 12 weeks or something like that. But I guess the next thing is to work on my exhaust system, because running around an open exhaust, while it's kind of cool, if you've got tinnitus, it ain't cool. So I need to go about getting my collector back on. I've got the old school Hooker super stock headers for this. I think it was like KD 6205. Basically, it's for the Galaxie body from like 60 to like 64. People running 427s in them, for super stock, racing and whatnot. 3.5-inch collectors. I mean, they're freaking pretty cabinets and that. But funny story. The reason why I'm holding this dumb collector in my hand is that while installing them in the car, which took several applications, they come in sections and whatnot. That one collector kind of came in contact with part of like the cross member on the car. We couldn't figure out what the hell, and they were a pre-owned set. New them things are like over $700. Probably 800 thanks to everything coming from China nowadays. But anyways, it wasn't until we got the car running and the whole 9 yards we found a leaky freeze plug. Well, much to our surprise, apparently the freeze plug somebody had attempted to fix years and years ago did a shit job. They never connected the motor mount bolts. It was bolted to the car, but not to the engine itself. So the engine was kind of sitting cattywampus in the engine bay. And it was enough where it actually came in contact with this once we got everything aligned, and me being who I was at the time, decided to go ahead and chop this thing off with a with a sawzall. Any man can restore a car. It takes a real man to use a sawzall on a classic or classic parts. So there you are. So had I known or had foresight, would have not cut it. But there we are. So I'm gonna have to get it welded back on and get that on, so then I can do a new exhaust. I'm gonna probably do like a 2.5 all the way out, past the bumper, so it won't be overcome with raw gas and exhaust, billowing into the car through the holes in the floorboard and that. So that's pretty much next on the agenda for the car. I'm gonna be working on door panels, remaking them using like vinyl and whatnot. I'm gonna do a no-sew because I don't have access to an industrial sew machine, and then redoing the seats and that. I've got some old school stuff in mind. I'm gonna use the old saddle blanket trick for the front seat until I can kind of get my coin up together, to get that knocked out. In case you're just tuning into the page, or it's been a minute since you've seen the Galaxie, let me kind of flip this around so you can refresh yourself with the engine and what it is. Well, here's the business end of the Galaxie. It's the original 390. I did put a new set of heads on that have been gone through. Hardened valve seats, fresh valve springs. Nothing to write home about. Just enough to get it up and running again. As you can see, I did the 3G upgrade. Got rid of the generator. I'm sure the generator was cool back in the 60s and whatnot, but between it weighing 800 pounds and putting out a whopping 48 to 60 amps, that ain't getting the job done. So upgraded to 130 amp unit using pretty much factory parts and brackets to get it done. The only thing really fabbed up, as you can see, was the aluminum spacer. It's actually got a little bit more comprehensive breakdown in the video library for the car. But they're the hooker headers that I was telling you about. Nothing beats an old set of beat up hooker headers, and they get the job done, and they're engineered right and they work. It's just be prepared to do a little bit of install work and aggravating stuff that you go through with any set of headers. But at the end of the day, well worth it. If I had to do it all over again, I probably would have went with Mad Dog headers. If you do if you decide to go with the hooker headers, be prepared. You will need to get a mini starter. So that I got from, I think, Power Master. That's a mini starter that's reversed, that's designed for this particular header for this particular application. You will be needing that, so again, great way to go. The Holly 700 that just does not die. Doesn't run real well, but doesn't die, but the car runs pretty good with it. And of course, the old school air cleaner assembly now. But other than that, just tried and true, technology from the 60s and that. Only modern thing I really have is the Petronix points eliminator and the original distributor. So other than that, just reliability. Just starts, runs, does everything you needed to do. Just ain't the prettiest girl at the dance, but I like it kind of rough like that. But that's pretty much what's on the agenda. Like I said, a quick kind of refresh as far as what's under the hood and what are we looking at. But appreciate you guys checking in this Sunday. Hopefully everybody's doing well, staying well, avoiding getting the Rona like me and the fam did. But here we are already in February, so time's a ticking. It's almost time to start cruising this thing. So that's my goal, to get some more in-car content and getting this thing up and running and driving on down the road. But anyways, just figured I'd be checking in and see what's up and see what's shaking, bacon. So again, doing well. Thanks for asking. But again, practice your safety and staying sterilized and don't get caught slipping like I did. But anyways, figure I'll check out this Sunday and just kind of relax, head to the couch and just kind of chill out. Again, full throttle kind of guy. Wishing you a fun weekend and a good week coming on up.